Hey guys, welcome to a quick little video about the KLR once again. I wanted to do 5 things I love, 5 things not too fond of the 2024 KLR 650 Adventure. So let's flip you around and let's get started. So let's see, I guess we can start positive, right? So let's do one thing I like, I love, I'm fond of. And that's going to be the obvious one, which is just how fun it is to ride. I mean, this has pretty much become my daily driver now. I hardly ever use my truck unless I have to take something in the bed or anything like that. Otherwise, I'm always on the bike. So as far as around town commuting and things like that, it's absolutely perfect for that. I want to say this is about the 6-month review as well. So I'm going to put that in the title because I think it's been about 6 months since I've had this. And in 6 months, we have done exactly 4,598 miles. And all that's basically just around town riding, going to Walt Disney World here and there, and doing things like this. Doing some moderate off-roading. Nothing too crazy. All right, second thing I love is the cost. So compared to a Ram 1500, using this and commuting on this and just using this every day of the week, etc., is insanely cheap. It's about 6-gallon tank. What's weird is on the fuel gauge, when you're on the last bar and you pull into a gas station to fill up, I, at least, only usually fill up about 4 gallons, if that. So on the last bar of the fuel meter, that last bar still indicates you have about 2 gallons left in there. But that's just the case for me, at least. But yeah, so a full tank right now in Florida, with the way the gas prices are, I'm usually averaging about $9 to $13 to fill it up. So cost-wise, I love that. And that's compared to spending close to $100 every time to fill up the truck. So that would be the second thing I definitely love, is just how cheap it is to use. I guess we could tie that in with the maintenance as well. After you get your 600-mile service done at the dealership, or you can do it at home. But in the Kawasaki handbook, your next service after that initial is at 7,500 miles. So the maintenance intervals and the cost and everything like that is super cheap to maintain. So I love that. Let's see, number three. I guess this is not so much one that a lot of people do. It's not really I guess it's more of a common across the board thing, but I just like how available aftermarket accessories are for the KLR. I actually purchased some soft bags just to try them out instead of using the ones that came with it stock. But I just wasn't a fan of them and I returned them. But they're actually really good quality. It was the brand called Rhino. They were on Amazon. But I don't know, there's something about them with the KLR, at least with mine, wasn't that much of a fan of the way they look, so I just returned them and put back on the stock hard cases. But things like the mirrors, I got these on Amazon as well. I've had some people ask what kind they are. These have been amazing. They're super easy to install and adjust, etc. I can put a link to these in the description below. But just, I don't know. I guess it's not so much a third reason. It's just something I like. It's easy to accessorize, add stuff on. I like this little area up here. Plenty of room for the phone case with the windshield. The power supplies up here. Huge fan of that. So I guess we can put that as number 3. That's nice. Fourth thing. I guess it can be number 4. I guess that we could say the overall style of the bike is nice. I always think it just, I don't know, it looks all right. But every time I'm out riding, everybody has to stop and look at it. They think it's some crazy fast, sport bike looking thing. And I have to tell them, no, she's ungodly slow, trust me. But I guess just overall looks, aesthetic, things like that. I'm a fan of it. It's always fun, especially when you wash it and it's all shiny and you get to just gander at your girl here. We can put that at number 4. Overall looks, we'll call that. Just the way it looks. It's sexy. I like that. Sporty, yet slow. Number 5's going to be a really small one, but that's just going to be with the adventure model, at least with this one. It's going to be these fog lights. Some people aren't a fan of them. I love them, especially since I do a lot of riding at night or in the evening here in Florida. And in Florida, where I live, we got deer, coyotes, and bears, like up ahead, crossing right there. Speak of the devil. I'll try to zoom in and post. But yeah, there's just a bear crossing the road right there. So like I said, fog lights are great for riding in the evening because of things like that. You could be on a road like this, and then all of a sudden you're going, and then there's a bear, and you're like, I didn't see it. So the fog lights are nice, and that also goes hand in hand with other cars on the road, because I've already almost been hit 3 times since I've had this thing. And I think if I didn't have those on, I probably would have actually gotten hit. So they saved me up until the last minute, but still, I think they helped. And you see a lot more with them. So that's my number 5. I just like those lights. They're great. And that was awesome. We saw a bear. Hell yeah. I have yet to see one out here since I've been coming out to this trail. So that's awesome. And I'm far away, and he was a big boy. So yeah, let's do 5 things I could live without. All right. So one thing I'm not too fond of that a lot of people complain about with these KLRs is the obvious, and that is the comfort of the seat. But that's probably the case with a lot of bikes that are stock, right? So the KLR seat is pretty uncomfortable, especially for long distance riding. Some people say, oh, you'll get used to it, young whippersnapper. Blah, blah, blah. You're just a new biker. You'll get used to it, meh. But, I mean, it's not that comfy. There's a brand online called Seat Concepts. They have some pretty good seats that I've heard some positive things from. So if you're looking for a sort of more comfortable aftermarket seat, you could check them out. That's Seat Concepts. I think it's just seatconcepts.com. But I've heard good things. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. I tried this company called Windrider that makes a seat kind of wrap thing that you just put on. It's kind of like a mesh material. It works pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's a little bit more comfortable. I can manage going out for hours here in Florida. With the mesh material, there's actually about, I don't even know, maybe like half an inch of cushion there between the top and the top of the seat underneath, which is nice because you get a little bit of wind cross under there so you don't get hot in your butt and all that good stuff. It keeps you cool. There's no sweat anywhere, and it's comfy. So I would recommend that. But that's my first thing. Just not a fan of the overall stock seat comfort. Not that big a deal, right? Number 2, I think it's pretty common in the KLR forums, but I wish there was a 6th gear in this thing, because you'll be going along and you think, oh, I still got 1 more gear left, and it's like, no, you're already in 5. But that's a little thing. It's not that big a deal, but it'd be nice if one day in the future with the KLR, if they could bump it to a 6th gear. That would be pretty nice, but not that big a deal. That's just one thing I wish could be improved, a 6th gear, because I'm always looking for it. Number 3, not really even a big complaint, but it'd be nice if they could just do a different kind of display here. I'm a fan of it, but a lot of the newer bikes have just a little bit more to it, more intricate, looks cool. I don't know, not that big a deal, but the screen is definitely pretty stock, pretty basic. That's just a little thing I would change. Not that big a deal. It's hard to find things I don't really like about this thing, because I absolutely love it. I'm kind of just making stuff up to be something that's not that big a deal, right? But let's just say for the hell of it, if I had to do one more complaint about this thing, let's do the size of the tires. If they were just a little wider, a little more thick, a little bit more aggressive. Not to say anything about these tires. These are my second set of tires. The first ones I've got, other than the stock ones, these are actually the Shinko 705s. And for riding on like highway, paved roads, anything like that, these are outstanding. They are so smooth and quiet. Absolutely love them. Can recommend them 100%. If I don't, get into more off-road riding, I'm just going to grab another pair of these because absolutely love them. So if you're looking for a tire and you do more, more riding on the road, things like that, highly recommend the Shinko 705s. But as that said, other bikes like the BMW the BMW adventure bikes, things like that, the tires are just a little bit more wide on them. And I think if they could find a way to beef up the tires on the KLR, it would just look cool, right? I don't know. There's not that much I don't like about this, guys. I mean, if you're curious about pulling the trigger on one, I think you should, because I was just like you one time. Sitting in bed, sitting at the computer desk, just watching videos on the KLR. Like, man, those look so cool. I want to get one, but I don't know. Watched several over and over. Went to the dealership, and I didn't even sit on it. Never even, got on to see how it felt. I just said, I want that one. And then when I went to go and get it, and I had to get on it for the first time, I was like, oh man, this thing's fucking tall. But you learn to stretch your hips, and you get used to it. I am 6 foot on the dot, and I have no problem. I think my legs and my pants are like a 30, 32. So that's how tall, inseam, whatever. So, got long legs, I could hop over this, no problem. Just a little bit of stretching helps. So if you're about the same height as me, you'll have no problem with this thing. I think the stock weight's like 460 something. I can probably put it down below or on the screen, but it's not that heavy. So overall, the comfort once you're on it, piece of cake. But yeah, that's 5 things I love, 5 things I'm just not too fond of, things that could be improved on. But like I said, it's more so just making it up. I mean, this thing is outstanding. It's so much fun to ride. People with, like the Harley crew, all those guys, every time I'm on the highway and I go past them, they give me the 2 wheels down, hell yeah, brother, all that good stuff. So this thing is definitely accepted in the world of the 2-wheel lifestyle. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, I say do it. It's so much fun to ride. See it all the time in the KLR forums on Facebook. People are saying, oh, I ride that thing more than my Harley, blah, blah, blah. So even the big boys absolutely love these things. And you're telling me a gar licked this bread? But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Just a quick little, another KLR video. I know you guys like watching this kind of stuff. Thank you for watching all my previous videos on the bike. I'm glad. It's been hopefully informative and a little insight to the 2024 adventure model. Not sure what I'm going to do next to this thing. I actually bought a fender delete for the back, so the license plate is flush with the frame. I bought a new front fender that I still have to put on. I think the new one comes out to about here. It's pretty short, so I have that to install. And then I bought the handlebar risers. I think it's like an inch taller or something like that. But yeah, that's about all I'm going to do to it. Just easy little parts to swap out. But yeah, that's going to do it here from the Rodman Reserve area north of Ocala National Forest. If you have any questions on the bike, leave them in the comments below. I'll get to you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.